Once postpartum, always postpartum, no matter how long it's been since you've had your baby. By the end of this video, you're gonna know 11 ways in how to get rid of that post-pregnancy belly. Once I implemented these tips, I had a huge difference in how my stomach looked, and I wasn't looking like that usual 5 months pregnant, even though my baby was born 9 months before. So in just a minute, I'm gonna get right into it. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Linda with bodiesafterbabies.com. I help mummies just like you to fit back into their jeans, get their sexy back, and find a life of happy. If you're a mom who could use a little help, please consider subscribing and hit that subscribe button below. And don't forget to click that notification bell because you won't be notified otherwise of my next upcoming videos. With that being said, let's get started. Number 1 is do not do crunches or sit-ups. This is the first thing that you naturally want to do because you see that belly and instantly you think more crunches, more sit-ups. If you have been doing these, you probably have noticed you're not seeing very much of a difference, or you're seeing things getting worse. What you want to do is stop the crunches, end the sit-ups right away. Do not do them. And I will get into it in another tip in this video, why that is, but please do not do sit-ups or crunches and stay away from any twisting movements or anything that puts added pressure on your belly, as it's gonna make things worse. Number 2 is give it some time, especially if you just had a baby. I know I was like that too, that I just wanted it to be done and I wanted my tummy back to normal. But after delivery, your uterus will shrink down to your belly button level, but it actually takes up to 6 weeks to shrink right back to normal, which is about the size of a fist. Some of you are way past that postpartum mark, but like I said, once postpartum, always postpartum, so give it time for your belly to come down with these tips that I'm going to tell you. Now, interesting story. When I was in the hospital and I had my baby, the very next morning, my dad, God bless him, he asked me, "Oh, looks like you're about to have another baby. Was it gonna be a girl now?" And he didn't mean anything by it, but it was pretty disheartening. I know a lot of you can relate. I was 54 pounds heavier, and so that didn't feel too good. So I'm here to say that just go easy on yourself, whether you're newly postpartum or your baby is 3 years old and beyond. All right, number 3 is check for an ab gap in your stomach called diastasis recti. I have a video on this and I'm going to leave you the link. One of these spots should be up here or here, and you can see that at the end of the video, but it's important that you see all these tips first so that you have a good idea of what the heck is going on. Now, most doctors do not tell you about this. This is the most frustrating part, that I'm frustrated, other moms are frustrated, because this could be helped right away. Not everyone gets this split called the diastasis recti, but most do. And it doesn't hurt to check anyway. So you've got to check if there's that ab gap, and it's basically a split down the abdominal wall, and it's from having a weak core through pregnancy, your belly stretches, and all these other things, so you end up with this ab gap. Now it leads to other issues, which I do have in another video as well, which I also will link, and you'll see that in the description too. I'll show you, I have a Ziploc to show you. So now think of this as your abdominals. And this is the line that goes straight up and down. And when you do crunches or anything like that, you are actually pushing on that and making this poochie worse. And that's where you get that poochie effect. So you've got to check for that gap so that you know what to do. And I have exercises on it, which I will talk about in the next following steps in this video. This ab split or diastasis is also contributing to all kinds of things, including incontinence, backache, stomach issues, all kinds of things. So be sure to check for this. It's super important. Now, just before I get into the next step, I want to know, and you can comment below with this, if you would be interested in me doing a course specifically to help your tummy go down and in a short amount of time. Please let me know in the comments with heck yeah, so I have an indication that you are interested. All right, the next tip is to get out of bed only one way, and it's called a log roll. Everything you do can contribute to that gap worsening or getting better. And it's important when you get out of bed to do a log roll so that you will not put extra added pressure and make everything that you're working towards worse. Number 5 is do special exercises for your tummy. I do have some videos on my channel and you will see a whole lot more. And this will help you to replace those crunches and those sit-ups. They are very quick and very effective, and you can see also in the comments below some of the videos of other people's results. They're seeing them in as soon as 1 to 2 weeks, and they're making progress, which is fantastic. Number 6 is to pay attention what you're eating and how much you're eating and the type of food you are eating. You might notice you have an extra layer after baby's born, or it's still carrying around with you even months or years later. I was 54 pounds overweight, and so I had that definite extra layer on me. Now, even though maybe you're doing exercises, you got to remember that food is actually what's going to make you leaner. You can exercise all that you want, but if you're not doing the things like paying attention to your food, you can't out-exercise your diet. If your food isn't that great, you're probably not seeing that layer go off. So it's really important to see and notice what you are fueling your body with. If you're nursing, you also have to keep those calories up for your milk supply, etc. So you do have to be mindful of what you're eating. Now, the tip that I can give you is 1, use yummy spices to make your food more interesting. That is huge. And regardless if you're nursing or not, you can still lose weight healthily. The healthy way is to add those fruits and veggies. Make sure you're consistent in eating. Some of us, what we do is we will eat the toast crusts on our kids' plate, and then we'll go about our day and have their snacks, and then by nighttime we were super hungry and we will binge, and that's not going to work. If you want to pay more attention of what you're eating, just jot for a couple days. I know you're a busy mom, but a couple days what you're eating, how much and how often, and you'll get a pretty good idea where you need to clean it up. Good healthy food does not have to be boring, and in fact, you will soon look forward to these things because they make you feel so good. Now, if this is making sense to you, please comment below or hit that like button so that I know that you are understanding that exercise is not as important as what you put into your body and how you fuel it. Okay, number 7 is try a belly wrap. I did this right after I had my baby, and I found it gave me like a little hug. It kept me secure. I didn't feel like I was pooching out so much. I did see a little bit of a difference. I wouldn't say that this is the be-all end-all because it really starts with the core and your weakness in your core. But I did like the wrap, and it kept me posture-wise even held back, and I wasn't slouching as much. So I do recommend one of them. And I use the Belly Bandit. There's tons out there, but you can do your research and decide which one's good for you. Now, the next one is check your posture and your daily habits. You can hinder your progress by the way your posture is and also the daily habits like pushing a stroller, lifting your laundry, lifting your baby, and that sort of thing. You might notice that you do have a slouch or your posture's off. You can simply fix this by going up against the wall and seeing how your posture should be. A lot of us have a mum slouch to it where we're jutting our head out and our stomach sticks out and all kinds of things are going wrong. So if you go up against the wall, you can tell how it should be. And don't forget that log roll that I mentioned, how to get out of bed. And then your daily habits is the way you stand, and just always continue to check yourself and see how that posture is and be aware of some of these daily habits. Now, the next one is change what you say about your body and that belly. I know this sounds woo-woo, but it is very, very effective. If you are constantly bashing yourself, then you are not going to feel good and you're not going to feel very motivated to fix it. You're just going to feel down on yourself. If you keep focusing on what you hate about your stomach, you're most likely not going to see any changes and you're only going to feel worse. So as soon as you feel yourself start to bash yourself, then stop and replace it with something you do like about your body. I have a video that I just created recently, and I will stick it in the description below or over here. Once you replace these negative thoughts with the positive. At first, you're gonna feel like it's a big fat lie, but over time, you will start to believe it just like you start to believe the negative. Now, the next one is set a target. If you don't know what you want, then how the heck are you gonna get there? If it's you wanna lose weight, then how much? If it's a certain amount of inches, then how much? And by when? This way you can put a plan of attack together and you can know, okay, this is how many times I'm gonna do my workouts. This is what I'm gonna do for my food. This is what I'm gonna do for my mindset, how I'm gonna think about myself. So you have a master plan. Figure out what isn't serving you right now and replace them with what will. And number 11 is get your hormones checked if everything else is not working. If you find you are still struggling and you've implemented all these steps, but something's not right, you're on point with your eating and you're doing the exercise and you're feeling good, however, the weight's not coming off, then I would suggest going to a naturopath. This happened to me. I busted it. I was doing everything that I knew how to do and something just still wasn't right. And it turned out my hormones were a little wacky. I wasn't getting the vitamins and minerals that I should be getting. And I had my naturopath help me out. Now, I do recommend naturopath instead of a doctor only because for me, that's where I got the full scope of what was going on. You do you do what you find is appropriate for yourself, but for me, it was the naturopath who gave me the full idea. I would love to know if you're going to implement any of these tips and which ones you're going to. Stick a comment below and tell me which one resonated with you most and which one you have to work on the most. Put them in those comments so we can support each other. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and be sure to click that notification bell so that you could be notified of my next upcoming videos because there's going to be a lot of them. If you know someone who would benefit from this, please share with them so that they can get the help too. You can connect with me on Facebook. I'll put the link below. And also, I have a Diastasis Recti tracker that you can download completely free. That will also be in the link below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. How do I work this? Have it on.